Trying to record yourself presenting slides in Loom? In this lesson, I'll walk you step by step through how to record your slide deck with your webcam bubble so your teaching feels both visual and personal. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to deliver a polished, engaging slide presentation without any complicated tools. Let's get it. It's pretty common to have slide deck lessons inside of any kind of online training course. And they really sing when you have a visual to present, when you have a framework to share, and you want to create a lesson that has a fair amount of structure. They're one of the most common lessons we build inside of our agency and with our course complete students. However, recording them is not always the easiest. Having success in recording means that your slide deck and your script has been set up in a way that allows you to do that. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through, again, how to record your slides using Loom, but also how to set your slides up for success so that it's achievable and easy. Now, if you've been watching this series, then you know I'm always going to recommend the Loom desktop app. So not just logging in on your web browser or using the Chrome extension, but actually downloading the Loom app to your computer. It's far more reliable. The transitions are smoother and there's a lot more features and options. So make sure you're using the Loom desktop app. All right. So when you open up that Loom desktop app, this menu shows up. You've got your bubble in the corner, you've got your recording controls over here, and you've got the menu of options. When we're choosing what we want to record for our slide deck lesson, the first thing to do is, well, open up your slide deck lesson. So in this example, I'm going to use one of our clients. His name is Johnny Stevens. He is a cosmetic dentist out of the UK, and he has graciously allowed me to use his as an example. So thanks, man. Now, we always use Canva for our designs. It allows our clients to lift it and shift it after they're done working with us. Like, I don't like delivering something in Adobe that they don't have access to and they don't know how to use. Canva is pretty universal at this point. However, if you're using Google Slides or Keynote or some other kind of presentation software, this same process will work. The first thing I want to show you is actually how we set up his slides so that it makes this easy to do. First, you'll see the slide, and in the notes section, that's where we have his video script. And if we have a slide that has that we're clicking through something, we will actually indicate when he needs to click through something on a slide. This is a good example, right? We have him click as each bullet point comes up with some more description about that bullet point. So he's clicking and reading. That's all set up in animation. So if I click this little animate button and I go to click order, you'll see first this comes up, then this, then this, then this. Those are the 4 things that he's going to click on this slide before it moves to the next one. The other thing I'll mention is we have this bubble here on every single slide, which shows where his actual webcam bubble from Loom is going to go. So very simply, if I open this up, here's my bubble, and that is where it's going to go. So we have our slide deck open, and then we have Loom open. Loom defaults to having the full screen show. We're going to change that, but we're going to do that last. First, we're going to select our camera. That is important. Just stick with me. So select your camera. I just have my default FaceTime camera for my Mac desktop. Okay. If you have a special camera connected, you can select that there. Select your microphone. I use the Shure MV7. It is my favorite mic. You can upgrade to a higher level of Shure mic, but it works perfectly for me. So I'll link it below. In the settings here, I talk through this in a settings video at the top of this series. So if you haven't seen that, it might be worth going back and checking it out. But the most important thing is this recording control section. You want it to say hide only in final video. That way, these recording controls that you'll see on the left right here don't show up in your final recording. Okay. So you want to make sure that's turned on. So now I'm in a place where my settings are correct, my microphone and my camera are selected correctly. So now we're actually going to select the screen that's showing. Here's where we're going. What we're going to select is custom size. But before we can select custom size, which you will see, Okay, before we can select custom size, you need to first hit present. Now, I'm in Canva, so I'm going to hit present in Canva. This would work exactly the same way if you're using Google Slides, Keynote, etc. So I hit present, and I'm going to select presenter view. This means that my speaker notes are going to show up in a different window than what I can record for the audience. Present. So you'll see we just had two things pop up here. Okay, we've got the presenter window over here that has my speaker notes, and over here we have the audience window. Do not enter full screen mode or these scripted notes are going to go away. Now, if you don't have any notes, easy peasy pumpkin pie, you basically just hit custom size, select, I have two desktops on my computer, which is why it's giving me that option. And then I would select this size. Like if you don't have any speaker notes, that's all you need. You're good to go. You can hit start recording. And of course, I can move my bubble over here. I can just record like that. I can even close my bubble. If you don't want to record with you on screen, you would just close the bubble. All right. Now that being said, most of the people that I know, they either have scripts or they have bullet points. Either way, they're in the speaker notes section, which says to us, all right, we have this open and we have the speaker notes section. How do we organize our desktop so we can see everything, but record only what we want to record? Now, here's the thing. This might be a little bit tricky to start. Okay, but you're going to get it. And if you practice a couple times, it'll be great. So if you have a lot of slide deck lessons in your program, you're going to want to practice this a couple times. Here's how I like to set mine up. I put the presenter window on top and I put the audience window on bottom. This presenter window, most people don't know this, but you can actually slide this over so that the notes section is taking up the majority of the screen. You can also minimize the text here so that you can see more text at one time. And there are other different options over here for how you can edit things. Like if you want to show your magic cursor or not, there are magic shortcuts that you can use, like bubbles, which show bubbles on the screen. So there are some fun things that you can do there, but like you can even draw on the page, right? So you can draw on the page if you want. But if we're keeping the main thing, we want the notes available, okay? And we want to be able to record this screen. I think this is why like a magic mouse like this is so helpful, is because I can just slide I can just slide my finger on the mouse and it is changing the script. So if I go to a script with, let me go to the next slide. If I go to a script with more speaker notes, so I can slide this up and down. I'm still looking at the notes, but my eyes are pretty close to the screen. If you want to take this up a level, you can get a physical teleprompter that you have to set up in the right accordance with a camera. It is very technical. I don't even do it. Most people can't tell that I'm not looking directly at the camera in all my videos, and this is exactly how I do it. So if you're in a position where you're trying to DIY your own recording, this is what I recommend, because otherwise you're going to be paying for a teleprompter and you're going to go through all the tech challenges of setting it up. And in my experience, like it's just like the juice is not the squeeze, or you're getting a done for you production where you're in a studio actually recording with a videographer and then the edits that go along with it. So all that to be said, that's why I prefer this. And it makes most sense to have the script associated with the slide. Okay. Now let's talk about actually recording. We're set up, the screen is set up for us to record. My favorite way to do this is to actually select custom slide. If I selected a specific window, what would happen is it would record this entire window, including my link at the top, which is not bad technically. Like it's fine. Like I don't really care if my clients see my bookmarks or whatever, but I prefer to use custom size because it's just a little cleaner. Again, because I have two monitors on my desktop, it's giving me this select desktop thing. So I'm going to select screen one, and then it's allowing me to select the size recording. So I just select the size that I'm recording and I move my bubble to where it goes. And then from there, I hit start recording. Gives me the countdown. I'm recording here. I can still slide here, right? I can go to the next slide and I can, I'm using my mouse again. So even though it's just highlighting and recording this, I can still see this. And I find that, you've got to figure out what works best for you. This is the best way that it works for me, is like script on top, slides on bottom, highlight the custom view, record that, photo in one place, in one location. That's the best way I've found to do it. And when you finish the recording, you'll see all it captured was my screen. It did not capture any of the other stuff going on around it. And that is how you record a slide presentation on Loom. In one of the following videos in this series, I'm going to show you how to edit it inside of Loom. It's very simple. Things like if you need to trim off the beginning or the end, or you have a hiccup in the middle that you want to remove, or maybe you record two videos and you want to stitch them together. I'm going to show you all of that in the editing video coming up. And there are other lesson types inside of your course that you may be recording. Maybe it's a talking head where it's you full screen. Could be a whiteboard, a screen share, and even others. And you'll see all of the different how-to videos inside of this series. If you found this helpful, then please hit subscribe. That super helps around here. And I will see you in the next one.